One of Daedalus's ideas, Annabeth said. I had Beckendorf make this before. She glanced at Selena. Anyway, the shield bends sunlight or moonlight from anywhere in the world to create a reflection. You can literally see any target under the sun or moon, as long as natural light is touching it. Look! We crowded around as Annabeth concentrated. The image zoomed and spun at first. I got so motion sickness just from watching it. We were in the Central Park Zoo, then zooming down East 60th past Bloomingdale's, then turning into 3rd. Whoa, Connor Stoll said. Back up! Zoom right in there! What? Annabeth said nervously. You see invaders? No, right there. Dylan's candy bar. Connor grinned at his brother. Dude, it's open, and everyone's asleep. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Connor! Katie Gardner scolded. She sounded like her mother Demeter. This is serious. You're not going to loot a candy store in the middle of a war. Sorry, Connor muttered, but he didn't sound very ashamed. Annabeth passed her hand in front of the shield, and another scene popped up. FDR Drive, looking across the river at the Lighthouse Park. This will let us see what's going on across the city, she said. Thank you, Argus. Hopefully we'll see you back at camp someday. Argus grunted. He gave me a look that clearly meant good luck to you. You'll need it. Then he climbed into his van. He and the other 2 Harpy drivers swerved away, weaving around clusters of idle cars that littered the road. I whistled for Miss O'Leary, and she came bounding over. Hey, girl, I said. You remember Grover, the satire we met in the park? Woof! I hope that meant sure I do. And not, do you have more hot dogs? I need you to find him, I said. Make sure he's still awake. We're going to need his help. You got that? Find Grover. Miss O'Leary gave me a sloppy, wet kiss, which seemed kind of unnecessary. Then she raced off north. Pollux crouched next to a sleeping policeman. I don't like it. Why didn't we fall asleep too? Why just the mortals? This is a huge spell, Selena Beauregard said. The bigger the spell, the easier it is to resist. If you want to sleep millions of mortals, you've got to cast a very thin layer of magic. Sleeping demigods is much harder. I stared at her. When did you learn so much about magic? Selena blushed. I don't spend all my time on my wardrobe. Percy, Annabeth called. She was still looking at the shield. You better see this. The bronze image showed Long Island Sound near LaGuardia. A fleet of 12 speedboats raced along the dark water towards Manhattan. Each boat was packed with demigods in full Greek battle armor. At the back of the lead boat, a purple banner emblazoned with a black side that flapped in the night. I had never seen that design before, but it wasn't hard to figure it out. The battle flag of Kronos. Scan the perimeter, I said. Quick! Annabeth shifted the scene to the south of the harbor. A Staten Island ferry was plowing through the waves near Ellis Island. The deck was crowded with Dracanae and a whole pack of bloodhounds. Swimming in front of the ship was a pod of marine animals. At first I thought they were dolphins. Then I saw their dog-like faces and swords strapped to their waists. And I realized they were telekines, sea demons. The scene shifted again. The Jersey Shore, right at the entrance to the Lincoln Tunnel. 100 assorted monsters were marching past the lanes of stopped traffic. Giants with clubs, rogue cyclops, a few fire-spitting dragons, and just to rub it in, a World War II-era Sherman tank pushing cars out of the way as it rumbled into the tunnel. What's happening with the mortals outside Manhattan? I said. Is the whole state asleep? Annabeth frowned. I don't think so, but it's strange. As far as I can tell from these pictures, Manhattan is totally asleep. Then, there's like a 50-mile radius around the island where time is literally running really, really slow. The closer you get to Manhattan, the slower it is. She showed me another scene, a New Jersey highway. It was Saturday evening, so the traffic wasn't as bad as it might have been on a weekday. The drivers looked awake, but the cars were moving about 1 mile per hour. Birds flew overhead in slow motion. Kronos, I said. He's slowing time. Hecate might be helping, Katie Gardner said. Like how the cars are all veering away from the Manhattan exits, like they're getting this subconscious message to turn back. I don't know. Annabeth sounded really frustrated. She hated not knowing. Somehow they've surrounded Manhattan in layers of magic. The outside world might not even realize something is wrong. Any mortals coming towards Manhattan will slow down so much they won't know what's happening. Like flies in amber, Jason Mason muttered. Annabeth nodded. We shouldn't expect any help coming in. I turned to my friends. They looked stunned and scared, and I couldn't blame them. The shield had shown us at least 300 enemies coming our way. There were 40 of us, and we were alone.